Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. It's located on the west spawn of Airfield and it's under the command of talon1958. Now, Talon and his partner Angelina have agreed to actually process a test for us. This replay is one of the tests where he was trying to find out how much damage an Arty can actually do since the 1.13 changes. So he and Angelina were playing the game with just the standard HE in order for us to actually determine how much loss of damage had actually happened as a result of the changes. First target's Panzer Aslains H Anku. That's the Japanese version, the anime version of the Panzer IV. You can see that he's actually got the stock gun, and there's a good reason for having the stock gun. The reason being, obviously, you get much more accuracy and a higher arc of trajectory, or trajectory arc, which actually makes it much easier to hit targets accurately and do damage to them. The problem with the stock gun though is you do less damage. The standard damage would be 600 from the top gun, and from the stock gun you only get 480, so it's a big difference. But what you're giving up by not having the top gun is you're actually gaining a better trajectory, and you're gaining a faster reload as well. You also get more ammunition with the stock gun, simply because it actually does carry more ammo. Not that the ammo was actually slightly smaller. In fact, all Hummels actually had the top gun in reality. They never had the stock gun. That was an invention of wargaming. Direct hit there on the 555C. Now, Talon is very, very good at aiming at enemy tanks. Yeah, he's practiced playing his Hummel. In fact, I think his favourite Arties are in fact the Gorilla and the Hummel, the German Arties. Oh, he's noticed there was a tracer coming from that area, so he knows there's an enemy Arty over there. But what he's noticed as well is this chappie who's rather cheaply gone round to the set of rocks, and oh, we've just spotted another Arty tracer coming from the distance. So we know that there's an Arty in that corner, and he's relocating just a little distance to avoid counter battery. Now you may notice that I'm having to press the G button after each shot. Something that Wargaming changed as well was the fact that you could automatically switch. Oh, he found the enemy Arty, and he's realised he's just a little too far away from them, and so he's having to change position just to get a shot in that direction. Doesn't want to get too close to the rocks, otherwise he won't be able to get a shot. Now yes, you may have noticed I'm pressing the G button after each shot, and the reason is Wargaming changed the way that you actually access the strategic view, the overhead view, or the battle assistant view. And for some reason this is actually affecting how we can process the replay. So if you just go straight to aim view like he's just done here, you're getting too close to the target, so you have to press the G button as I just did to actually see the target from a high enough distance away. And I must apologise to Jonas and to several other players like Tank and Tonic, because I actually processed their replays before I found out that Wargaming had made this change. Going after the E25. Oh, direct hit. He definitely hit that guy. No explosion at the other end when he fired it in. So the E25 is now smarting from a shot that probably damaged him. Definitely damaged him. Possibly penetrated him. Now we're going to see a number of replays from Talon. He's sent us quite a few so far, and I'm going to do them as dual replays, so there's going to be 2 replays per video. He just spotted the Arty again, so he knows they're in that corner, and he also knows there's one behind the cap area. In fact, there's still 3 enemy Artys alive on the enemy team. 2 of them are M44s, one of them is an M12, And he's decided he needs to get closer to these guys in order to shoot them. So he's going to move down to this area here. Is he going to go down into the dip? Might do so, but there are some bushes there that he can use. Let's get closer. There's the chappie. Okay, so he can ruin that chappie's day if he can get a shot directly on target. He's lining it up, and... oh, we saw the tracer from the Arty again. Direct hit! Wipes out the chappie. Excellent shot. Perfect. Just what you expect from Talon. He knows how to do it. He really does. He has lots of fun with Arty. It gives great satisfaction playing Arty when you can do it correctly and you get good results. I think that's one of the things that a lot of Arty players are. They're perfectionists. They know how to do it. They've got tremendous patience. And when they get great results like that, it gives you so much satisfaction. I mean, a lot of us, you know, cue the evil laugh that we've actually just smacked somebody with an Arty round and they don't know where we are. That guy's AFK. But the fact of the matter is that there's this huge satisfaction of doing what we can do at our best. And he just got a direct hit on that super chappie. Yeah, Arty players are perfectionists. They're patient. They learn the strategy of the game, and they learn to win for their team. Good Arty players can win a battle. Rounds out. Oh! He was denied the kill on that steer by only a fraction of a second. The shell went in just after he'd been wiped out by the E25. They're one tank up on the enemy at the moment. The enemy's still got 3 SPGs out there. And Talon wants to get closer to the enemy so he can get better shots on them. We know that there's one up in the northeast corner of the map, one behind the cap, and there's possibly one in the south. We just don't know exact locations of the ones in the south. Okay, there I go. Now, one behind the cap somewhere. He's looking for the spot where the super chaffee was, and he's going to use the minimap to fire. He could take a shot now, but instead he's looking around just in case that Arty makes himself known. Yeah, he's looking at the minimap. That's why Arty players have a big minimap. We like to play in such a way as we can get accurate shots, and we need the minimap to tell us where the enemy is. And the M44 just got wiped out by the IKB-90. There's the super chappie. And looks like one of the other Artys on our team, the GW Panther, just fired a round in. And let's see if Talon can get the kill. Oh! Denied! The M44 got there before he could. Okay, can't hit the Wolverine at the moment. And he's gone as well. And it was the IKB-90B again. Okay, there's the Arty. Yes, he was in the south. It was the M12. We're lining up on the spot. Talon's very meticulous about this. Let it dial in. Get a nice tight rescue before you shoot so you get accurate shots. He fires. And I think he knew that he had to, because if he didn't, then his teammate would get the kill, and he has killed him. Which means now there's only one enemy left. It's the M44 that was behind the cap. And he did move. He moved to the south. We're now looking at him. He's pulling back. Now this might give Talon a chance to take him out as he comes around the corner. Lines him up, perfectly dialed in. I think we could use Klaus's old Jedi mind trick. You want to come round the corner. You want to come round the corner. Oh, he did! And he stopped, and the strip's there. Oh! And the kill shot comes from the GW Panther. So the first game is over, and it is a victory. In the second game, we can see that Talon is on the east side of Malinovka, and yet again he's using the stock gun to get the better trajectory. Oh, and there's no sound. Now, we've learned a little trick from Klaus Kellerman, thank you Klaus, that if you press the reset button, you get the sound. Let's hopefully that will come back. because it was bugging us for a while that Wargaming had mucked up the engine noises. Yep, we've got the engine noise. I've done so many videos with no engine noise, but finally we get them, and thanks to Klaus. Game on. Now you can see from the labels festooned all around his vehicles, yeah, Talon does like playing the Hummel. It's one of his favourite arties, and he does play it rather well, because you can see he's got quite a few marks. Only first mark of excellence at the moment, but I suspect that with the changes that Wargaming has made, he will probably be up by his third mark within a very short period of time. As always, he's aiming for the bush, the spotting bush on the north side, and I always do this as well. And there was somebody in there, because the shell hit the spot and did not explode, and it wasn't that ELC who suddenly appeared. There must be another light tank in that bush already, and he took the shell and the full force of that round. Now with a stock gun you do 480 alpha, penetrating 38mm of armour, but you also get more rounds of ammunition. The second round went into the ELC, who was hiding behind that rock, and we know that because yet again there was no explosion, and yet he did, well, he fired it very accurately at that ELC, guessing that the guy would actually pull back. Okay, so where's he going to go now? Is he going to go back to the bush? I'd go back to the bush. If you definitely hit something in the bush, he's probably there, and if he isn't... Okay, so he's not on that spot, but something was in that bush. Because the first round hit the bush and there was no explosion. Now, as with all games since 1.13, you do need to move after you fire each shot, because if you don't, there's a very good chance you might get counter-batteried by the enemy. In fact, actually, the reason why Talon's moving is because there are enemy tanks coming over the hill, and he needs to help his teammates to defeat those guys. Okay, let's go to the... There you go, press the G button, and you get back the close view on battle assistant. Well, we fired a quick shot at the T-3485, and it looks like some of our teammates are firing the special round, which is the second one in the list. You can see here that Talon's firing without any AP or special rounds at all. He's firing nothing but standard HE, which is reduced value. 480 alpha, 38mm penetration, 6.7 meters burst radius. Direct hit! Panzer T-25 took that one exactly, and he's got stun. Stun doesn't last as long, but it's still there, and you do pick up stun assist. Looks like he's going to go for the T-3485 this time. Rounds out. Guy pulls back just in time, but he does pick up the stun. Now, as I said in the first replay, Talon's agreed with Angelina to test these new shells, and he's only firing the standard shell, the standard low value damage shells, to test and see how much damage we lose from these games. And the thing is that because Talon is an accurate player, an accurate shooter, he is a good judge on whether or not we are losing damage, because normally if you've seen some of his games before, you notice he is capable of doing extreme damage to the enemy. Rounds out the KD-1, just misses him but stuns him. He's very good at getting damage, but we wanted to see how much damage would you lose by firing the new shells if you didn't use the special shells. Now he's also going to conduct a test where he's actually firing the new shells as well, just to see how much drop you get from those. I think one of the test results that we've had so far is to actually say that the new shells, the special shells, only work actually if you hit the target. They obviously are very beneficial if you hit a target that's actually face hugging one of your own heavy tanks. And of course there's no stun, so you can't damage your own teammate, because of course there's no team damage, which means now that you can fire at two tanks which happen to be grappling with each other with reasonable hope that you're not going to affect your own teammate, but you are going to do damage to the enemy. Well, he got some stun, and he got some stun assist there. And the T-3485M has been killed. Now we're one tank up on the enemy at the moment, and it looks like the enemy Arty are firing in that direction. You can see on the mini-map that the circles indicate that that's where their shells are falling. And that's good in a sense, because it means they're not firing in our direction. But Talon is still relocating. Now, I currently believe that the KV-1 and the T-52 are probably in those bushes. In fact, you can see a fir tree's been knocked down there. And I think Wargaming just indicated in one of their videos that you don't need to knock down fir trees to get the camouflage effect from them. KV-1 got hit, and he's stunned, and he's taking damage. So that means Talon's picking up more hit points. In fact, he got damage assist there, so I think he must have taken out the track on the guy. And that T-52 is disappearing as quickly as he can, because he's in trouble. Fires a snapshot in that direction. I think we just saw a tracer from one of the enemy Arty. Now, one of the enemy tanks, the T-67, is making his way towards our cap at the moment, but we have got some cap defenders. So Talon, although he sees that, he doesn't have to respond, but I think he might anyway. Okay, spotted one of the enemy Arties. It's the Fifi, the 105 FH-18B2. He's lined up ahead of him. Rounds out. This looks very good. Oh yes, 94 hit points of damage from a near miss. In fact, that T-52 has managed to go up the hill. In fact, we lost all of the attackers who went over the hill. They got wiped out, and now we're in a bit of a sticky situation because we've lost all the cap defenders. So now it's just 3 Arty against 8 opponents. Oh no! Okay, so he's in a firing position where he can shoot down at the people who are attacking our cap, the T-67 and the Type 64. T-67 just got badly wounded. Rounds out, direct hit kills him. Now, can he get that Type 64? Oh, he's all alone! And the T-67, another one, is actually coming towards him, and he's suddenly spotted that. This does not look good, I'm afraid. I don't think he's got a hope in hell of taking out 7 enemies. But he does get the T-67 with a beautiful shot there. He was spotted, and you can hear the roar of enemy RT shots, and there goes. He's killed by the Type 64. So sadly, this one is a defeat. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Here's the end of battle results, and it was a bruiser medal for talon1958 in the Hummel on the Airfield map. He managed to get 6 critical hits in that game. It's quite a bit down on what he normally gets, but of course the game was still a victory. His win rate from the game was 1306, which is quite a bit lower than he normally gets, but then he wasn't getting as many direct hits as he probably would have liked in this battle. Let's have a look at the scores. Well, he got a shot against the E25. That was the blind shot that he fired into the bush. 114 hit points off that one. He hit the Super Chaffee. That was the one that was AFK. And of course, he killed the Chaffee that was hiding behind the bush. Got a shot on a 555C and hit that Panzer IV Ausführung H Anju, the anime tank. So yes, he did get some good damage on the enemy, but not a huge amount. Not what he would normally get. He would normally be at the top of the table or near enough. If we look at the team scores, we can see that he did get in the top 5 on his team. The highest damage in the game actually went to the Steel Waffenträger with 1,786. The second highest damage was the T-3485 on our team with 1,561. And after that, it was the IKV-90B who was taking out enemy tanks who tried to come along the airstrip with 1,437. And of course Talon got 833. Normally he'd be up over 1,000 at least. When it came to kills, it was the E25 on our team and the Steel Waffenträger on the enemy team. Both got 3 kills apiece. When it came to the T3485M, the IKV90B and the Skoda T40, they all got 2 kills. Nobody else on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill. And you can see Talon only got the single kill in that game, which was the Chappie. When it came to base XP, he's much further down the table. In fact, you can see that the top scorer was the T3485M with 825. The Skoda managed to get 682. The E25 614. And Talon's Hummel was down at midpoint with 432, just below the highest scorer on the enemy team, there's Steel Waffenträger. And of course, as you remember, he was denied the kill on the Steel Waffenträger by a split second. His teammate managed to get the shell in there before he did, and he claimed the honours of that kill. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 9 shots in that game, got 4 direct hits, no penetrations, but 6 splash. Damage of 833 hit points, all of it up more than 300 meters. He damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 1, did 166 hit points of stun assist off 5 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 26,034 credits. It was his first game of the day, so he got 50,000 credit bonus, and that brought up a total of 76,034 credits altogether. And there was no cost of ammo or consumables, don't know why, but he ended up with a profit of 76,034 credits. So even if you take off the 50,000 for the first mission, you'd still say that it was reasonably profitable, considering he was using the stock gun. 648 XP times 2 for the first victory took away 1,296 experience points altogether. Again, fairly average. So, a fairly good game. This was the very first game he played in the 1.13 update. Let's have a look at the second game. That's the one on Malinovka, and it was a defeat. But, even though it was a defeat, he got a second-class tanker in that game. I bruised the medal again for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 11. And on top of that, he got a high caliber. Yes, he got a battle hero medal. He did the most damage in that game overall. And just look at that win rate. That's more the standard for Talon. 3,294, Super Unicum standard, that's what we'd expect. So let's have a look at details and see where he comes. Well, yes, he did get the highest damage, 1,861. The next highest damage was the T67 on the enemy team, 1,747. I seem to recall that was the one he wiped out, who came over the hill thinking he killed Talon, and unfortunately he met a shell coming the opposite way, and it was one of Talon's. Yep, so he took that guy out. When it came to the third highest damage was the M44 in the enemy team, and I think that was one of the ones who actually did hit Talon at the end of the game. He also picked up a Confederate in that game. He earned 1,642 hit points. When it came to kills, it was the T67 who got the most with 5 kills, 3 kills to the other T67 and 3 kills to the AMX CLC on our own team. Talon only got the 2 kills, which puts him in joint 4th place on this battle alongside the Fifi, and he did hit that guy, but he just didn't get the kill. When it came to base XP, it was the Type 64 who did the best. He managed to get a patrol duty and 828 hit points of damage, and he was the one who actually killed Talon in the end. 792 went to the T3485 and 755 went to the T67, and the Arty, the M44, got 614. Now, the other T67, I think that both of the T67s were killed by Talon. He got 589, and then you've got, actually, no, there's another one, the Fifi, but then you've got Talon with his XP. So he didn't do too badly. It puts him about mid-table down, what you'd say, on the enemy team, on the winning team, but he was the top player on his own team. He fired 15 rounds in that game, got 5 direct hits, 4 penetrations, and 9 splash. So he was really rocking it, and I'm pretty sure that the T67s were the ones that he actually penned. Yes, he penned that one, and he also penned, where's the other one? There he is, right down at the bottom. And yes, he penned him very nicely as well. So yes, lots of pens in this game, and well, that was worth it because we penned the T52 as well. Because obviously he was hitting them with the stock gun. So getting a pen with the stock gun is actually quite good. If we look at the rest of the details, He did damage of 1,861, that's about standard for Talon, 1,391 of which was at more than 300 meters, so there was some close range shooting. 3 hits received, 2 penetrations, and 1 hit by way of splash damage. That was right at the end of the game when he was spotted, surrounded, and he was the last man alive on his team. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, and 4 hit points of damage assistance, plus 745 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 44,175 credits, got 6,162 for Courageous Resistance, that's because he got a Battle Hero or a medal, Epic Medal on a losing or drawn game, and it was a losing game this one, 50,337 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he actually ended up with a profit of 40,765 credits altogether. Now, that's a higher profit than if you remember the first game, which he actually won. And this is more like Talon's sort of everyday score, that he would be getting a reasonable profit even off a standard game. So he is making a profit using standard HE, not the new premium rounds. 790 of the XP, 462 for Courageous Resistance, took away 1,252 experience points altogether. So it appears that Talon is showing us that even though there was a bit of novelty in the first game he played, the one on the Airfield map, if we show that again, he didn't score as much as he would normally get, but in the next game on Malinovka, he was back to standard again, getting nice high scores, lots of damage, high calibers, and so it appeared to be working for him. And that's fairly good news for all of us in the sense, because it shows that what Arty Noobs players who are reasonably good, they're reasonably practiced in playing Arty, might still be able to make a profit by playing Arty even under 1.13. Now, we've got some more games coming up, more videos, and we're going to be seeing some of Angelina's games and testing, see how well she's getting on since she started playing the game with standard HE only, and as she works her way up to the new rounds. I hope you enjoyed this replay. If you did, please give these videos a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.